cash gamblers and signing of autographs during competition is strictly prohibited. In addition, if you have a cell phone, please turn that to the silent mode. Players are susceptible to straight license only approach. You may not live stream on any social media platform during our competition. All right, bowlers. As soon as you get 10 pins on the deck and the arrows are up, you may begin your competition. Bowling fans, how about a great set off B squad? All right, thank you and good luck.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome back to Bowl TV for B Squad Round 1 at the 2019 USBC Senior Masters, which is taking place at the Sam's Town Bowling Center inside the Sam's Town Hotel and Gambling Hall in Las Vegas, Nevada. My name is Aaron Smith with USBC Communications, and we will be here for wire-to-wire coverage. So Bowl TV will be busy until Sunday. 2019 edition of this event. A Squad already has 5 games in the books. There is no re-oil. So our competitors here on B Squad bowling on the leftovers. This is what we like to call the burn. get your rundown of all the happenings on A Squad momentarily, as well as meet our competitors here on our featured pairs. 3 channels live at the moment. You can find those listed below our video player. So first and foremost, let's meet our competitors joining us on our featured pairs, lanes 19 through 22 in this 56-lane venue. Pedro Flores up for his 3rd frame on lane 19. Alan Sabin, who had himself a nice Super Senior Classic just a few days ago here at Sam's Town, making the match play portion of the event. We'll be up on 20 as soon as we get some pins for Alan. Obviously, we got that. Got the 3-pin. Looks like it's kind of hung up there. That's Stephen Kenyon and Stephen Davis also joining on 19 and 20. On 21 and 22, that is Mike Lucente up delivering his 3rd frame shot. Connects for the double. He is joined by Jeff Mann, Scott Shimming, and John De Benedetta. After one round of qualifying here, Joe Kayak of Canada. I was mispronouncing it. So I asked Joe and I chatted with him after the block and I said, Joe, what's your last name? What's the proper way to say it? And he says, it's Kayak, like the boat. And I said, I'm sorry, Joe, I was saying it wrong on the air. He said, that's okay. So now that I've talked to Joe, I know how to properly say his name, but he is the round 1 leader after A Squad, 1184, with games of 236, 263, 197, and 244. And just for good measure, one more 244 to get to plus 184, a 236.8 average. Gary Faulkner of Norfolk, Virginia, just 1 pin behind at 1183. Corbett Austin of North Ogden, Utah, 1179. Thomas Jones of Blaine, Minnesota, 1163. And Robert Brown of Cody, Wyoming rounds out the top 5 with 1158. Digging a little bit deeper into the standings, Warren Nelson, who had 289 his final game, moved all the way up into 6th place, 1139. Eugene McCune, the Rocket, 11:27 in 7th place. He finished 2:59.242. He's also tied with Rick Meneleev, Santa Maria, California. Both of them at 1,123. And then James Campbell of Clearwater, Florida rounds out the top 10. 11:08, so a plus 108 total. At the moment, the A squad had 58 players averaging better than 200. Gotta see if there's any surprising players who are minus. See Brian LeClaire. See if he can get it going on the burn and the double burn. Tom Baker, after a nice Super Senior Classic, at minus 82. LeClaire was at minus 26. So we'll see if those folks can turn it around. Where's our defending champion at? Chris Warren was in 16th place for round number 1 after A squad. Plus 94, so not too far out of the top 10. So for Joe, and chatting with him a little bit. And Joe just liked the fact that he could play the lanes pretty direct. And as we can see here on the burn, we really haven't seen, at least on our featured pair, other than John. John just got that one back to the 1-3, couldn't get the 10 out. But most of the players still playing fairly direct here on this 40-foot condition. Once again, lanes only oiled once today. That was before A squad. So these competitors will have to show their versatility across 3 phases of this condition: the fresh, the burn, the double burn. But Joe was making his Senior Masters debut at age 52. So it's nice to get out to a strong start. A longtime member of Team Canada, he said a total of 18 years. If I recall correctly, 15 with the adult team and now 3 years on the senior side. Has helped Team Canada claim medals across this great world. So we'll see if anyone can catch his number. Usually this would be the squad to do it, so that's just based off of normal wear and tear that we see. As the lane starts to open up, there becomes a spot where the folks can start throwing the ball at, and it's just a matter of finding some hold because you know you're going to get the ball back. So we'll see if anyone can put together a big run. Plus 184 though, that's a 236.8 average as we mentioned, so that's a whole bunch of striking to go out and average 236 plus for 5 games. I think we have some folks up to the challenge here at Sam's Town. Barry Allstott, early 5-bagger over on 7 and 8. Same for Doug at Kent over on 31 and 32. Two-time Senior Masters champion Pete Weber bowling on this squad. He's actually paired up with Johnny Petraglia, so that's a pretty unique cross. Stories those two could tell. So it looks like just those few five-baggers to start. We'll keep an eye on them as we turn back to our featured pair. Gary Alstott actually missed in frame 6. Scott shimming up on 21, looking to make it 5 out of 6. He split last time up on the left lane. But no split right there. Nice shot by Alan Sapin. I got the chance to talk to Alan for a little bit at the end of, or actually starting Sunday. Before the group step ladders, he was here early. He had gotten knocked out in the position round. A very nice gentleman. It was a great chat. Talked about a few different things here about Bowl TV, and then kind of told me he's just trying to take it event from event and continue to have some good showings out here. So best of luck to Alan. did have one 300 rolled during that opening block. Steve Boyer from right here in Las Vegas during game 4. Things did not go as well as Steve would have liked in the following game, which we had here on Bowl TV. Kind of gave some of those pins back. Sitting at plus 67 with a story to tell. After round number 1, Steve was playing a pretty far outside line, almost kind of going directly at the pocket. He's using the last surface out there. Just kind of letting the ball burn up and go boom. Congratulations to Steve on that big game. Doug Kempt now with 7 in a row on 31 and 32. So we will continue to keep an eye. That was the final string of strikes out there. I don't know much about Doug. Let's see if we can find out at least where he's from. From Arcadia, California. How about that? Oh, break there for Scott. Cash him in when you can. Looks like Doug Kempt is going to be stepping up for number 9 in a moment here. Kind of see it from I can only see the scoreboard from our vantage point. So if he does get number 9, we will sneak over there. Looks like I'm starting to see some numbers add up there, so I think Doug's run has come to a close. Steve Kenyon sets up frame number 10 with a double. He can get to 234 this game. Here's Stephen Davis looking to take care of the single pin. No problem there. 224 already in the 10th frame over on 21 and 22. Di Benedetta has a spare to pick up to get into the 2-0s. Jeff Mann with a fill ball left to go, 203. His max, Alan Sabin. Delivering the strike. 247 out there for Allen. Pedro Flores working on a spare, 179, his max score. $200 even for Mann. Di Benedetta, 206. Mike Lucente working on a spare, can still get to 201. Scott Shimming with the double has a 240 for Max. Sabin adds another one. Talking to Joe Kayak, he did say that he didn't think it was going to get too crazy on the burn. So a little more concerned with the double burn. So he really hasn't faced conditions like that too often, if ever. But he thinks he'll be able to kind of stay in the same area. Maybe just kind of ball down, and then once that starts to give him some trouble, obviously they start jumping left into that. But said he was going to stick around for a little bit today and kind of watch the progression. Actually, saw him go grab a bite to eat afterwards, so a well-deserved meal at TGI Fridays. Sabin, one more. Let's get it, 247. I believe Alan said he was from Washington. Let me verify that. Oh, just a little south of that. In Oregon, Camas Valley. Good place for the 4-6-10. On the way to a 2-37. For Scott Shimming. Leading the way on 21 and 22. Fill balls left to go. Stephen Kenyon. It's gonna not hold line there, but three-bagger and a double will help him get to 211, and for Stephen Davis, one more shot to go to get to 224. Nice shot by Steven to wrap things up. Gets the love from Alan Sabin. I always enjoy seeing the camaraderie between the players out here. Appreciating solid efforts and great shots. Well, folks, since we are in Las Vegas, it is very important to mention that the 2019 U.S. Women's Open will be taking place from right here in Sin City from June 16th through the 23rd. You can watch the competition live on Bowl TV. Make sure to tune in to watch the best female bowlers in the world competing on the PWBA Tour for the second major of the 2019 season. I think that will be a very telling event. It's been a pretty crazy season so far on the PWBA Tour. So far through 5 events, we've had no one make multiple stepladder finals. We certainly had players come very close, but no one has returned to the stepladders twice. So I think that's a pretty cool stat, and hopefully adds for a pretty exciting finish this season when you start looking at points for Player of the Year and Rookie of the Year, that there's so much variety, so many talented players making their way through the rounds and to the championship round. For Tony's question in the chat, I believe Joe said it was a hammer gauntlet. It was the ball of choice. With a little bit of surface, I think he said 1,000 on it. Helped him get to 184 on the right side of plus and into the overall lead for A Squad.
Shaky. I had 50 something in the fourth. No, 60. I had 60 something in the fourth. Then I moved.
All right, folks, game number 2 of 5 for B Squad. Round 1 qualifying at the 2019 USBC Senior Masters is upon us. Talked about Doug Kempt in game 1 having the front 8. He finished with 267, and now here he is on 21 and 22. Joined by Dave Washburn, Ron Boroff. Washburn delivers the strike there. And Steve Ford. While over on 19 and 20 to your left, that is Ron Schmidt delivering the strike on 20. We'll have Rich Cutler up on 19. Dennis Erkfritz will be up on 20 next, and their fourth player is Bruce Lamb. So there is our player introductions. So Rich Cutler was in the 230s, 234. This will be the big game on 19 and 20 so far. As you mentioned, 267 for Doug Kempt in the opener. As soon as we get an update for scores after 1 for B Squad, we will be more than happy to let you know. We see with Doug as he lines up on the far right of your screen, actually lets the ball just kind of hang from a resting position, a few back and forth, and then lifts it up, and boom, just like that. 3 for 3. See Doug chatting with some folks here on site at Samstown, chuckling a little bit, having a good time, staying loose. Gary Allstott was in the 250s in game 1. He's one pair to our left right now in our 15 through 18 channel, looking pretty comfortable out here as well on the burn. 257, the exact total. And 4 for 4 for Doug. Not doing anything too crazy out there, just making some good shots more than anything else. Another question in the chat from Tony about field size here at the Senior Masters, and I know we did not sell out as far as could have taken some more entries, but it always does come down to size of the house is always a big factor. Obviously, 56 lanes here. We're not using the end pairs. So 52 in total in play, so 26 pairs total. So at the moment, just based off of the demand we see, you know, this is a kind of the perfect sized house and kind of the perfect type of day for qualifying, where you get 4 on most pairs, which keeps the pace pretty good. There were a few 3s. When it gets tricky is when you start getting 5s and 4s, then that kind of slows everything down for the day. We'd have to move back the squad. So, but I'm sure it's you know, it's something the folks who determine the squad schedules and stuff like that definitely look into, and trying to keep a good pace for the day, and as well as kind of keeping the pattern integrity in play with 3 squads and no re-oil. That'll, I'm sure, all kind of works into it. But we did have room for more entries this particular year. I think the final roster listed 304 bowlers. I know we had 2 players with no scores for the first squad, so late dropouts, if you will, or potentially did not make it here to Las Vegas, but 304 was the number to start things off. We'll see today how many people actually came through and bowled. Steve Smith with the front 5 this game, over on 41 and 42. Former Team USA member. Another light hit on 21 for Doug, 6 for 6. He's striking a bunch. As I said all those nice things about Steve, he stopped striking. 9 count in frame number 6. Looks like the biggest string of strikes right now, the only string of strikes to start this game. It's right here in front of us. Do you have an update of scores after 1 online? And Gerald Johnson of Taylor, Michigan with 270 in the opener. Just leading the way for B squad through 1. Doug Kempt, as we mentioned, 267 on our featured pair. Still striking away. Also shooting 267 that game, Don Woolard from Central Point, Oregon. Just make sure I didn't miss anyone else. Okay, yeah, those are the big games so far. Rich Cook from Olympia, Washington, 263. Gary Allstott, as we mentioned, 1 pair to our left. From Washington, Illinois, 257. Carl West from San Jose, 256. John Congro from Las Vegas, 253. John Dudak from Orland Park, Illinois, 249. Alan Sabin, who's on our featured pair, 247. Along with Jimmy Johnson from Ohio. Blaine Wenninger from Clackamas, Oregon, 246. Some of our top scorers on the burn here for B Squad. And Tony, I do agree with you. 300 entries is a fantastic turnout for the top USBC members age 50 and over. This has really turned into basically a very cool, 2 to 3 week thing if you think about it, and if the players want to do so. For the Super Seniors, there's obviously we start off with the Super Senior Classic, followed by the Senior Masters here at Sam's Town. And for those who bowl both events, there is a rebate available. The Super Senior Classic kicks in for bowlers age 60 and over. And then with the U.S. Senior Open, let me get the dates for that so I don't talk about that event and don't say when and where. So that's going to be June 9th through the 14th. So as soon as we wrap up we have our stepladder finals on June 9th. So, and then practice over at Suncoast starts that very same day. So they'll go from the 10th through the 14th. Well, Jerry, thank you for joining us in the chat. We wish we had you out on the lanes right now with us, but good luck at the Open, though. We'll be cheering you on. Doug Kempt leaves the 3-6-10 in frame number 7, but no problem on the spare. It's looking to be in great shape after 2 games here of this 5-game block. And at least from our vantage point, still looks like there's a little surface that he is using. So the good news with that is, I assume he's got some cleaner equipment in the bag, ready to go when it's time. Doug's been a PBA member since 1996. 59 years old. Leaves himself the very makeable 2-4 here in frame number 8. Gerald Johnson, as we mentioned, shot 270 in game 1. He's shooting 279, stepping up in the 10th. I don't know Gerald, but I think we're going to if he keeps doing this. I have to go check that out. Pulling on the low end of the house right now. Ron Moore going on a 278 possibility, stepping up for his 10th frame over on 31-32 after an open in frame number 1. Hasn't missed. After 270 in game one, Gerald Johnson, 256 to get to 526. So 126 over after 2 games. Very impressive. Gerald again joining us from Taylor, Michigan. Actually walked over there and watched him throw his 10th frame, so see if we're catching him over here by chance. Let's see, he's going to be on 21 and 22 in game 4, so there we go. It's actually going to be on featured pairs back-to-back games, so game 3 will be on 15 and 16, which is an available channel, and then as we mentioned right here on 21 and 22, so good stuff. Gerald pulling with Australia's James Harvey. Cool. We're international here at the Senior Masters. Canada's Joe Kayak leading the way through A squad with a 1184 total. And as to be expected, scores kind of look like they're picking up here on the burn. Ron Moore got the first strike in the 10th, so he's in the 260s this game after 188 in game 1. Steve Ford's gonna get the hit there at the end to finish things up. Dave Washburn already in the 240s. 243, the max number for Doug Kent. .247 for Dave, so he's going to be at plus 61 through 2. Averaging 230 and change. Nice shot there from Doug. Kick off the 10th. Ron Boroff can get to 201. Ron gets the first one to tumble. Bruce Lamb kicking off the 10th frame here on 19 and 20, and gonna have some struggles continue. Staring down the 210. Kind of an up and down game here for Doug Kemp, but still going to get to 229 and sit at plus 96. Gave away a few pins on spares there, but Boroff will get to 191 to wrap things up here on the 21 and 22. And remember, all USBC members receive rewards through a Benefit Hub, which has a variety of offers such as exclusive discounts from many top brands, cashback offers, local deals, and much, much more. Stop on over to bowl.benefithub.com, where members score more. Ron Schmidt gets him to mix up here. He can get the 203 from the left side. We'll be right around even with one more. Dennis Erkfritz is going to finish with 181. He's going to be at minus 10. Rich Keller can still be, still get to plus, or stay plus, I should say, after nice first games. Had some struggles here in game number 2. One more shot for Rich here before we finish up game 2 here on our featured pairs. Cutler gets to 169. He's at plus 3 after 2. All right, folks, we're going to begin to prepare for game 3, so we're going to take a quick commercial break here, if you will, without actual commercials, but just going to leave the cameras running for now. Game 3 will be coming up next here on BowlTV.com for the 2019 USBC Senior Masters taking place at Sam's Town in Las Vegas, Nevada. Thank you again for joining us here on Bowl TV. We hope to see you throughout the course of the week and weekend as we get down to the stepladder finals. Begin by trimming this field down from 300 plus players to the top 64. Then the double elimination bracket down to the top 5 for the stepladder finals taking place on June 9th. Okay, folks, we are approaching the midway point of Game 3 here. B Squad, Round 1 on the burn at the 2019 USBC Senior Masters. We have John Younger and Gary Morgan up at the moment on 19 and 20. Joining them for this game is Steve Anderson and Chris Leota. Well, on 21 and 22, we have Paul Malins, Troy Silfies, Jim Gordon, and Mark Young. And it looks like we may potentially have something on the lane or something that popped into the gutter. So we have one of the great staff members here at Samstown taking care of it for us. Like a grip might have popped out there. Looks like that came from Troy's equipment, so good call by Mark Young. Many of you know Mark. He visited the USBC Open Championships working in the Brunswick booth this year. You always want to alert the tournament staff to take care of something like that for you. Don't want to potentially make any infractions. Looks like we'll have an update for scores for you momentarily as well. Gerald Johnson at plus 126, still leading the way for all of B Squad. That's good enough to sit in 8th overall, considering the plus minuses of the world. And he's still striking away. Looks like Carl West at plus 103, John Dudek at plus 98, Doug Kempt at plus 96, Gary Allstott plus 92, Steve Smith plus 91, James Harvey plus 86. All on B Squad right now. Let's get one or two more names. Tim Mazzarule plus 78, Widmar Vargas plus 74, Don Woolard plus 66, Dave Washburn plus 61, John Congro plus 61, John De Benedetta plus 61. The number all these players are chasing at the moment, plus 184. Joe Kayak from Canada leading the way after A Squad. Mentioned John Dudek. He's currently working on 6 in a row on 31 and 32. Ed Silva putting together a nice game. He's +2 entering this third game. Spare in the first and has rolled 7 consecutive strikes after that. Tony's question in the chat, looks like it's about 30 minutes from Samstown to where Suncoast Station is that. Nice shot there from Troy, bouncing back after they missed a single pin in frame number 4. John Dudek looking for 8 in a row. And that looked like a no-doubter from over here. So, John Dudek. Used to bowl league with John Dudek back at Lanoak Lanes in Lansing, Illinois. It's your random note of the day. John was much better than me then, and as he's proving right now. Throwing some strikes at the USBC Senior Masters. So scores are updated online. Keep an eye for John's next turn. Potentially walk over to catch the end of it. We have Steve Boyer's 300, his 10th frame, available on the Sport of Bowling USBC and at USBC on Twitter. If you want to check that out, pretty cool. Steve was having a good old time on the lanes, showing the emotion. That's what we like to see. Gerald Johnson still bowling well. He's currently on our 15 through 18 channel. Our B squad leader through 2 games. Still has a chance to be in the 240s this game, so he would almost be at 184 over at that point. He's able to finish out the rest of this game. Still a few frames to go. They're in the starting the 8th frame over there. So Dudek up on the approach. And it looks like a 9-pin is wiggling for him. And the score is added up, so for John, his string of strikes comes to an end. Nice shot there from Gary. We had him at the Super Senior Classic, joining us all the way from Honolulu. Ron Moore starting to settle in, one pair to our right. Available on the 23 through a 26 channel. There are a pair of spares. He's got 5 in a row now. That 23 and 24 has been a little bit troublesome for him after the end of the Super Senior Classic. But Ron's a top-notch competitor, so short memory. Can't forget about that. New tournament starting today. So Dudek can shoot 279 still. But no 300 here in game 3, it's looking like. Ryan Schaefer having a nice game down on 5 and 6. Can get to 269 this game, which should put him right around plus 100. John Younger finishes with 192. Gary Morgan 216. Chris Leota can get to 201. Steve Anderson with the washout conversion can max out at 177 on 19 and 20. Just about ready for the 10th frame over on 21 and 22. Jim Gordon looking for 4 in a row is going to step up first on 21. And adds another one. Paul Malins will start things off here, working on spare. He can get to 201. And Troy Silfies working on a 3-bagger. So max at 221. Spare ball has given him some issues this game, but he is finding the way to strike, however. Throwing the pins around. Troy is. Paul's going to finish up at 191. Troy's going to be in the 2-0s. Just a matter of how many he gets here. Going to take the 1. Got some names up there for game number 4. 19 and 20, as well as some competitors, so should be transitioning fairly quick. Jim, and another one. 249 still out there. Mark fighting the good fight this game. Fill in frames, a 3-6-10 conversion will keep him clean, give him a chance to get to 2-0. It's going to be plus after 3. It's a matter of how much, though. There's Gerald Johnson stepping right in front of us. He's going to be taking 2, 21 and 22 in a moment. He's been cool, calm, and collected on his way to the top of the standings so far through B squad. Get to see what he's doing out here in this 40-foot condition. He's now on the burn. Jim Gordon Not going to get the fill ball, but that's okay. 247 to get to plus 31. And for Mark, strike to get to plus 32 on the day with 2 games to go. Making an even 30 over. And we're done with 3 on to 4. Boom. All right, folks, game 4. B Squad, round 1, 2019 USBC Masters. It's going to be coming up very shortly here on BowlTV.com. Looks like our other pairs are just about ready to get underway, if not underway already. So we're going to make sure they're good to go as we continue on. See if anyone can catch Joe Kayak of Canada, plus 184, leading through A Squad. All right, folks, game 4, moving along, underway. And our first look at Gerald Johnson. Joining us from Michigan. Our leader here in B Squad through 3 games, plus a 160. So a nice 760 out of the gates for Gerald. His player he is pairing with, James Harvey from Australia, also doing all right today. 733 for his first 3. Sure some of you folks could see it on the feature channel there that Pete Weber is bowling on 23 and 24, so you can watch that a little more directly by checking out the Senior Masters 23 to 20 6 channel. So far, a pretty kind of day for Weber, just +2 through 3. Kind of thought he would put together a number here on the burn so far, but an early double. Along with James Harvey and Gerald Johnson, we have Rich Cook and Jerry Anderson on 21 and 22. Nice shot there from Jerry. Scott Dotson stepping up on lane 20. Jay Nephew has the 1-2-4 to clean up on 19. Our other two competitors, Lance Lordfield and Tom Sweeney. We'll bring you our featured bowlers here for game number 4. And I'm not sure what happened there, but we got pins out on the deck. Yeah, they just kind of dropped and got hit, so we're going to have to get that reset there. So we'll patiently wait on 19 and 20. James Harvey throwing pins around. Still playing them fairly straight so far. Our tournament director. Damon Sirocco going to help halt play for a second here, so we can get a few of these pins cleared out. It's our main guy, Scott, taking care of business up there. Scott's been taking care of business all week, making sure we're good to go here. And he picked up most of the spare. There we go. All right. Nicely done, Scott. So I'll have to get that reset on 20, and then we'll be back in business. Nothing like a good clearing of deadwood to lighten up the mood in the bowler's area. Oh, Gerald getting the hit. There's first strike here on our featured pair. Still waiting for the spare to get reset here on 20. Looks like we're going to be in business again soon. Got a full house here at Samstown. A few bleachers around our featured pairs, and crowds have come out strong to support the top USBC competitors age 50 and older. It's definitely cool all around, just to see so many familiar names that folks have grown accustomed to seeing over the years. Early four-bagger for Weber over on 23 and 24. Looks like we have some scores updated on site after 3, so once that rolls back to the front, we'll get you a little recap of our top competitors so far in B squad. I'm gonna guess Gerald Johnson's name is going to be at the top of that list, because shooting 760 is cool, and I wish I did that more often myself. So far, I would say this condition has held up fairly well over the course of 8+ games now, along with a pair of 15-minute warm-up sessions. Don't think it's going to get too crazy in the double burn, which will be 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 local time, so about 2 hours from now our C squad bowlers will hit the lanes for their first block. just about scrolled through here, and Gerald Johnson at plus 160 leading the way for B squad through 3. James Harvey plus 133. Sean Dudak plus 128. Doug Kemp also at plus 128 through 3 games. Ron Moore plus 110. Carl West plus 100 even. Gary Alstott and Ryan Schaefer plus 98. Blaine Weninger plus 95. Steve Smith plus 93. Sam Lanto plus 88. John De Benedetta plus 86. Some of the top players so far on B squad through 3 games. See if Gerald can get things going here in the 5th frame. That looks like a better shot, much better shot. Getting that last one out there. Nice bounce back with the strike in frame number 5. So us to get locked and loaded on the right lane. Still looking for his first strike on 22. Mentioned Steve Smith at plus 93. He's got the front 5 down on 3 and 4. Weber's going to be stepping up on 23 momentarily, looking for the front 6. Tom Sweeney stepping up right now in 20, looking for 5 in a row. Both Sweeney and Weber leave 10 pins to end their string of strikes. David Cummings with 5 in a row, looking to find some momentum here. Some struggles through the first 3 for David. Over on 29 and 30. Blaine Weninger started the game at plus 95. Spare in the first, followed by 5 in a row, over on 41 and 42. Steve Smith now is 6 in a row. as we settle in past the halfway point of game number 4. Please do remember here on Bold TV that the USBC is unlocking their treasure chest of newly digitized historical telecasts, including those from the PWBA, Team USA, World Team Challenge Classics, and much more. Literally hundreds and hundreds of hours of historical footage for you to watch and check out. Can only be found on Bold TV. And bowling lives here. Find all that in the vault. Two new videos this week, the 1991 Masters, along with the 1998 AMF Lubbock Open on the PWBA side. So that 1991 Masters has Doug Kent winning the title. Spoiler alert. I believe Doug in the field this week at the Senior Masters. So how about that? Let's go full circle, folks. Kevin Bacon has nothing on us. Things slowing it down a little bit for Gerald Johnson and James Harvey here in game number 4. Doug Kemp still striking away though on 7 and 8. He can get into the 240s this game, already in the 230s. Blaine Wenninger still striking, can still go 290 this game. Same Steve gets number 8. Looks like he's up right now according to live scoring. Once again, bowl.com/Senior Masters, the place for live scoring results and more. And he's 8 for 8, so we're going to head down there and take a gander as Steve Smith looks to connect for 300 number 2. The 2019 Senior Masters, Steve Boyer from Las Vegas, getting the first one during A Squad. Can we have another one? Hang tight. All right, folks, we're back. Steve Smith left a 7-pin on a pretty good shot, mixed them up, but the kitchen sink did not knock over the 7 because he threw everything at it. Took a quick lap around the house as well. Blaine Wenninger was still running 290. So we got a few folks who might be positioning to take over the lead for B Squad from Gerald Johnson, who's having his struggles here in game number 4. Pete Weber finding something he likes over on 23 and 24. Now going to be in the 260s. Can max out at 279 after delivering. There we go. The first strike and the 10th. So for Pete, he was at just a +2 after 3. He's getting things going here in game 4. And connects now in the 270s. Just a 10-pin in frame number 6 for the 2-time master or senior masters champion. Tom Sweeney with the bucket conversion to stay clean. There we go, Gerald. Find some momentum here for game number 5. Can get to 179. Pete Weber with 278. Gonna jump up to +80. Jay Nephew with it. We actually have seen him move right on this lane. Was playing a little bit farther to the left earlier in game 4, but switched balls and has moved out. Looks like most pairs just about done, are already switched off and ready for the final game of the block. Final few shots here on 19 through 22. Final shot for Jerry Anderson. He's going to finish at 190 even. Gerald Johnson, our leader after 3, is going to give 31 pins back in the minus after 169. It's going to drop him to plus 129. It's still in great shape here. One more game to go this block. James Harvey looking for a few late strikes here. He can get to 216. Rich Cook, similar fashion, 215 his max score. Tom Sweeney, single pin left to go for 222. So he's going to be plus 61. So it's one of those things where it's always tough to judge before you get to see the double burn and see everyone on the lanes, but I'm seeing a solid amount of players plus here, at least kind of crossing our paths. As we see Jerry Anderson at plus 60, Gerald Johnson at plus 129. James Harvey is going to be better than plus 150. Tom Sweeney plus 61. Jay Nephew still striking away here. Nice finish to the game there for James Harvey. Plus 149. Nice 232 from Jay Nephew there to get to minus 33. So game 5 coming up next here. B squad round 1. The 2019 USBC Senior Masters. A big thanks to our gold industry partners, Brunswick, Columbia 300, Ebonite, Hammer, Kegel, Rotogrip, and Storm. Kegel is the official lane maintenance provider this week and of all USBC short duration events. Our host this week is Samstown. 56 lanes. A great staff. Tom Pimpinger. Thank you to him and his great crew for what's already been a great week with the Super Senior Classic. And now the Senior Masters. So everyone hang tight. Game 5 coming up next here on BowlTV.com. All right, Bull TV fans, Game 5. Squad B, Round 1. It's very detailed. But the important part is, now you know. But we're settling in, taking a look at who will be joining us here for our final game before we prepare for C Squad a little bit later today, 7 p.m. Eastern, about an hour and a half from now, 4 local time in Las Vegas. We have John Congro, John DeSantis, Keith Lesko on 19 and 20. Keith, fairly confident in saying Keith made the stepladder finals last year, but I'm going to double check because I wasn't here. Matt Cannizzaro was here. But yes, Keith finished in fourth place overall. Was the number 3 seed in the bracket, ended up falling to our eventual champion, Chris Warren. Finished in fourth place, so here's a second look at Keith. First time on lane 19. Throwing shots like that, no surprise. It's in the stepladder finals. Over on 21 and 22, Bill Hewlett looking for the early 3-bagger. Let's get it. Randy Peterson, Mark Scroggins, and the legend himself, Harry Sullins. So we're waiting for an update through 4. It looks like it just popped up on the screen, and it looks like we have a new overall leader, Blaine Wenninger. Once again, we mentioned he was making a run at 290. If you're sitting right around plus 100, so he's now at plus 185, so he's 1 pin ahead of Joe Kayak heading into the final game. So we'll see if anyone else is in range of running down Blaine. So we're still waiting for the scores on line to pop up. They are available once again on site. But right now, the score to beat plus 185. See where Blaine is at this game. Blaine is going to finish up on lanes 31 and 32, so not too far away from us. There's Blaine. He's actually up on the approach right now. Johnny DeSantis had a nice showing at the Super Senior Classic. Delivers the strike there. Bounce back with a double after the open in frame number 2. Advance to the cashers round there before having his tournament run come to a close. Steve Smith at 172 over. Started with the front 5. He had the front 8 last game. Steve's starting to settle in. All right, looks like we are updated on Bowl.com as well. So as we mentioned, Blaine Wenninger did finish off that 290. So he's gone 246, 202, 247, and 290 to get to 985 for 4 games. That's a 246.25 average, better known as plus 185 through 4. Next up on B Squad, Steve Smith. He had 279 last game. He's at plus 172. Doug Kempt at plus 162, 10 pins behind. John Dudek plus 154. James Harvey from Australia, we had him on last game, plus 149. Carl West plus 144. Gerald Johnson drops to plus 129. Gary Allstott has been pretty consistent so far, plus 123. Dave Washburn plus 108. Gary Morgan plus 107. Rounding out the players plus 100 or better heading into the final game for B Squad. And Johnny Manzella plus 102 along with John De Benedetta. So some scores out there for sure. The big question is who's going to be leading overall. We kind of expected, as we've seen for many, many tournaments throughout the course of general history, the Burn Squad tends to bring forward the biggest numbers, and for a second there it was getting a little sketchy, but it looks like the 184 on the fresh is going to be surpassed. Just a matter of who will it be. All right, taking a look at live scoring. Gonna see if we can kind of track down our new tournament leader. Who will it be? Along with any big scores, of course. Doug Kempt, plus 162, is having himself a pretty decent game so far. Had to make up a few pins to get to Blaine Weninger. So has 257 out there. John DeSantis keeping up the strikes, 5 in a row after the Open. Steve Smith up to 7 in a row now. He's going to be stepping up for, I'm afraid he missed in the 8th frame, but however, a chance to go back-to-back 279s would be quite advantageous to his overall score. You know, Blaine Weninger was having some trouble, so Steve Smith might be the guy. John Dudek finishes with 258. Get to plus 212. So he's the clubhouse leader. Nice bowling from John there. But John was down 18 pins to Steve, so he would need to be in the, basically need some help there from Steve Smith, who's can still shoot 279 this game. Rob Rice, front 7, 1 pair to our left on 17 and 18. For Weninger, back-to-back opens in the 4th and the 5th, so he has 73 after 5, which will probably make it a little bit tough for him to hold that 13-pin lead when he can max out. 223, and Steve Smith can get to 279 here. Gerald Johnson, much better game here in game 5, but gave a few too many pins back in game number 4. James Harvey still bowling well, but with Steve Smith going 279 potentially, he's going to or it looks like all signs are pointing to Steve being the number. Hard to believe Steve Smith qualifies for this event. Seems like we were watching him on Team USA for all those years. And definitely still seems like a kid. Striking like him too. Like an 8 spare in frame number 9. 267 is still available. So he's basically surpassed John Dudek. A nice showing for John. By all accounts, the number can be well north of plus 200 here to end the day for our opening round leader at the 2019 Senior Masters. We've been tracking scores. Bill Hewlett has been striking. Entered this game at plus 27. I was thinking more about being at plus 100. This pair's actually getting pretty nice here. We got some strikes adding up. Randy Peterson working on 5 in a row, going to be 6 soon. Keith Lesko sends all 10 back. So just a reminder, C Squad about an hour and 15 minutes away from kicking off. 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 local time here in Las Vegas for their 5-game block before we call it a day here on Bowl TV. But one more round to go. Nice shot from Randy. Randy joining us from Carrington, North Dakota. Bill Hewlett from right here in Las Vegas, and that one gets away from him, but still a chance to get to 245. Mark tries to show him some love there. That shake it off guy. Steve Smith up in the 10th now. Strike, he did get the strike, so it's going to be Steve Smith. Taking the overall lead. And we'll see if anyone on the burn can get to whatever his final number may be. Mark wheeling and dealing makes it 4 in a row to set up the 10th frame. John DeSantis is going to be in the 220s with good count here. Keith Lesko looking to get to 195. John Congro has a 213 max score. Great shot there from Harry Sullins, the legend, 5-time PBA Tour titleist. Looks like 266 the final tally. Plus 238. For Steve Smith, he's going to be the guy on the top of the standings. Games at 235, 256, 202, 279, and 266. So we'll have to catch up with Steve. Make sure he doesn't get too far as we finish up things here on Bowl TV for B Squad. Rob Rice with a nice 267 over on 17 and 18. Get to plus 84 for the day. Don Woolard's going to be in the 270s and maybe even 280. He was at 278 and 11:05. Strong finish there for Don. See a lot of numbers in the plus here. Stephen Kenyon off to a strong start. All right, folks, looks Ken Hansen was minus 42. He can shoot 290 this game. Over on 9 and 10. Looks like it's going to be Steve Smith going to be the story, at least through B squad. So we're going to make sure Steve doesn't get too far away. So we'll be right back to help conclude B squad. Final few shots here on Bold TV. All right, folks. Got our final shots here on Bowl TV for B Squad of the 2019 USBC Senior Masters. Lanes 15 through 18, all quiet. 23 through 26 appears to be quiet as well and all in the books. So we're going to go ahead and shut her down for about an hour. We're able to connect with Steve Smith. We're going to be chatting with him real shortly. Then C Squad will hit the lanes for their 5-game block for round 1 coming up in about 1 hour. So we're going to keep it short and sweet as we sign off today. Big shout out to Damon Sirocco, our tournament manager, and all the tournament staff helping out today and throughout the course of the week. Tom Pippinger and his crew here at Samstown. Big thanks to them. Our host center. And of course, everyone here on Bowl TV, tagging along, watching, and enjoying the action from the top players age 50 and older. We certainly appreciate the continued support. For Brant Houghton in the Maestro office, I'm Aaron Smith. We'll see you soon back here on Bowl TV. Thank you again. And we'll see you soon.
I recognize Dr. Jones.